Matt Barnes, former member of the Sacramento Kings and former member of the Los Angeles Lakers, played for Mike Brown. Matt, curious, what type of coach is Mike Brown?
My experience with the Lakers and Mike Brown was a unique experience from a standpoint of, the organization and team went from Phil Jackson to Mike Brown. So needless to say, it was a tough, what do you say, maybe getting used to the situation. I've had Mike as a head coach, and then I've also had him as an assistant coach. I think he's a great person, great guy. Nothing bad to say about him. But my whole thing is I really feel like the Kings need someone who's going to come in and set a whole new foundation of how things are going, how things are going to be ran, and how this team is going to play basketball. And the one thing about Mike is just such a nice guy by nature, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any means. I just don't know if he's going to have the ground to step on when it comes to like really changing a culture. And I think more than a new head coach, that's what the Sacramento Kings need, is someone who's going to come in and change the culture and not necessarily be buddy-buddy with guys, but get the best out of what you have. So I'll be anxious to see, like everyone else, if this hiring was the right hiring.
Yeah, I'm interested as well. When you talk about Mike Brown as a coach, are all the things pretty much the same way that we see it on the outside, where he is this really good defensive mind, he gets guys to buy in, and he leaves a little bit to desire on the offensive end, or is that part being a little bit overblown, where he is a better offensive mind than people give him credit for?
I think he's just a really good basketball mind overall. Obviously, defense is where he hangs his hat, but I think overall he is a good basketball mind. And creativity is obviously what you need these days. The Kings need help on both sides of the ball. But one thing, that I came in and said at the very beginning of last season when I came in and started commentating was who was going to be the leader of this team. And it's yet to be defined who is the actual leader as far as players go. So the next obvious person to be the leader is going to be your head coach. So, it'll be interesting to see if, how he's able to lead this team and really, just break so many bad habits that not only the team has, but the organization has practiced as well. So, he's stepping into a new situation. I'm sure he's going to be paid handsomely for it. But it'll be, closely magnified because it's been a revolving door for the head coaches that have taken in that seat. And, hopefully this situation will be different.
Man, it doesn't feel like you're sold on this at all.
If I'm being honest, I'm not. I'm someone who's really going to straight shoot people. I'm not necessarily sold. And again, that's not a knock against him as a person. I just feel like some guys are better assistant coaches. Some guys are suited to be, second in charge. And I don't say that with any disrespect because I know everyone wants to twist and turn things. I don't disrespect. I just felt like Mike was better as an assistant coach to me than he was as a head coach to me. And there's a lot of guys in the league like that. There's a lot of great basketball minds who have been great assistant coaches. And I could be wrong on this one, and I've been wrong before. So I'm not painting a picture of he's a bad guy, they did the wrong hire. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that I'm going to be curious to see, just like everyone else, if this was the right move.
Do you think Mark Jackson had those attributes that you're looking for that the franchise needed?
I do. I do feel like Mark Jackson had I don't know what it's called, but he had something that was in him that, if you think back, Mark started, the foundation with the Warriors. You know what I mean? There was a little, a little lull for that team for a while after the We Believe situation had broken up, and they had drafted Steph and were getting new pieces in left and right. And Mark was the guy, and kind of started, what this team was about. We're going to hang our head on the defensive end, and we're going to be really creative and create space on the offensive end. And, obviously Steve Kerr came along after that, and they made a dynasty run. But I think Mark Jackson doesn't get enough credit for what he initially started with that young core of Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
And he has that attitude you're looking for.
Right. And again, like I said, when I say that, I don't mean it as anything bad, because it's not bad. Everyone should be a nice person. You know what I mean? But I just think sometimes it takes something a little different when you're trying to reestablish and define a culture. I don't necessarily want the nice guy if I'm trying to do that. I want the guy that's going to come in and get it done no matter what it takes. You know what I mean? No matter who's talking back, no matter who doesn't think it's right, I want someone that's going to come in and really lay the law down of how, look, we've been doing your guys' way for a long time. That shit hasn't been working. Excuse my language. This is how we're going to do it now.
It's clear that the Sacramento Kings are focused on defense. That's Mike Brown's MO. Is that something that you guys focused on? I know you said the transition was a bit difficult from Phil to Mike Brown, but was that a big focus for your team in LA?
I mean, we were a defensive, minded team. Myself, Kobe, world meta peace. We had Andrew Bynum holding down the middle. So we played defense already. But again, Mike Brown's defenses with the Golden State Warriors have been absolutely amazing. And obviously a lot of that has to do with Draymond and Clay when he was healthy. But defense is an attitude, and it's a want, because it's not celebrated like offense is. It's not paid like offense is. It's not even pretty, but it wins. You know what I mean? So I hope that these younger players and guys here will really buy into understanding, like, we'll have some pace on the offensive end, but we really need to work on our defense.
Hey, Matt, what do you think is the biggest issue? Or like for me, for instance, I think the biggest thing that Mike needs to do is he needs to get the best out of De'Aaron Fox. I think that is going to be what kind of defines whether or not he's going to be successful here. Do you agree, or is it maybe getting the best out of Sabonis or Davion or something like this? What do you think his number one thing should be to goal to achieve here to make this team the best they could be?
I completely agree with you. De'Aaron is the head of the snake. And I think post-trade of Tyrese, we really saw, how potent De'Aaron can be on both ends of the floor. He is obviously one of the young, bright scoring guards in this league, but the knock on him is he doesn't really make other guys better. And I think post-trade, post-All-Star break, he was doing a great job of mixing it up between scoring and getting other guys going, but then also being able to play defense. If you're one of the fastest guys in the league, one of the most athletic guys in the league, you should be able to play defense. Again, defense is something you have to want to do. So I think that'll be, the challenge of not only Mike, but the rest of the coaching staff to get, De'Aaron to buy in on both sides of the ball, because I think, with his speed, his quickness, how fast his hands are, there's no reason why, him and Davion Mitchell can't have, a lockdown starting backcourt, one of the best in the game, if De'Aaron is to be able to apply the defensive aspect to his game.
Yeah.
Matt, you back for season 2?
Oh, we're talking. I definitely want to come back. I had a lot of fun. It was great being back and being in Sacramento more. So we're definitely talking, and we'll see what happens.
Man, we definitely we need our guy Matt Barnes.
Yeah,
man. Come on, stop playing.
I'm not
Stop
confident in
playing out
anything
here,
you're saying today, man. Between Mike Brown and that. Hey, who do we need to talk to? Because I ain't doing 82 games of Kenny. I can handle 41 games of Kenny Thomas. I ain't doing 82.
No, it's just this is something that that's really near and dear to me. Sacramento is my hometown. You know what I mean, and to see how great this team was in the late 90s or early 2000s during the Chris Webber days, and how much the fans appreciated it and deserved that. And it's just been a nightmare ever since, So I'm really hoping that, ownership and management, are standing firm on their decisions, and they're doing everything in the best interest of the team, because, as a fan of the Kings, there's nothing more than I want to see them than to be competitive. And I think I speak for all Sacramento when I say that. So, I pay attention a lot more closely to the Kings than I do other teams, because at the end of the day, I want to see them do well. So, I'm always hoping for the best for Sacramento.
No doubt. We appreciate you, Matt. Hey, Matt, real quick before you go, this is random, but our boy Mel Charlo, he going to take care of business on Saturday, right?
Ooh, I think so. That first fight was a battle, and I think he may have underestimated him in the first fight. So I think, now he knows what he's in for. And, I'll be ringside watching, so we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Ringside Matt. Love it. Appreciate you as always, my man. Thanks for making time for us.
All right, fellas. Have a great day.
All right.
All right.